15 Shocking Facts and Taboos in Botswana. Number 15. It's illegal to fart in public. Picture this. You're in Gaborone, the calm, sun-soaked capital of Botswana. The air's dry, the sky crystal blue, and then, oops, you let out a tiny ft. Sounds harmless, right? Not according to Botswana's laws. Under Section 184 of the Penal Code, anyone who pollutes the atmosphere, meaning makes the air impure or toxic, is technically committing a criminal offense. The rule dates back to British colonial times, before 1966, and yes, it's still printed in black and white. The maximum penalty? A fine or up to 2 years in jail, depending on the case. When the local newspaper Sunday Standard rediscovered this law in 2018, the story spread like wildfire. International media from BBC to The Guardian ran headlines like "Botswana bans public farting." Memes exploded faster than the gas itself. People joked about whether Gaborone had a flatulence police department, while others laughed that methane detectors might soon appear next to traffic cameras. The government eventually stepped in to clarify. No one has ever been arrested for passing gas. Officials explained that the law was meant to target toxic fumes, industrial pollution, and harmful smoke, not human biology. Still, the idea that, in theory, you could be prosecuted for a perfectly natural release made the whole world laugh and think. Number 14. Botswana threatens to gift 20,000 elephants to Germany. Did you know? In early April 2024, Botswana surprised the world with a special gift to Germany: 20,000 elephants. Why elephants? Because Botswana is home to around 130,000 of them. Almost one-third of all elephants left in Africa, which has an estimated total of 415,000. President Masisi argued, "We've protected these elephants for decades, but now it's our people who are paying the price for global conservation." He added, "If Germans love them so much, they're welcome to have them." But this wasn't just a political joke. It reflected a serious issue. With elephant populations growing too fast, they've been destroying crops, invading farmland, and even attacking people. Masisi cited recent incidents. A Botswana soldier was trampled to death during an operation, and a British tourist was killed by an elephant in the country's northeast. Germany, however, stayed mostly quiet. The German Environment Ministry stated that it had received no official request to take 20,000 elephants and was still in talks with African nations, including Botswana, about developing a sustainable and lawful plan for trophy imports. Number 13. Botswana's women are considered the most ideal wives in Africa. We're now in a country often called the most well-balanced in Africa, and home to women regarded as the most ideal wives on the continent. Women in Botswana are not only beautiful by African standards, but are also admired for their intelligence, confidence, and independence. According to World Bank data, over 57% of university students in Botswana are female, and in fields like healthcare, finance, and technology, they outnumber men. In 2024, Botswana ranked among the top 3 African nations with the highest female literacy rate, about 94%. This reflects a generation of women who are not only educated, but also outspoken and self-assured, traits many Western men find deeply attractive. What makes Botswana's women truly special is their balance between tradition and modern values. They respect family principles, yet refuse to be confined by old stereotypes. A survey by the Botswana Gender Equality Bureau found that more than 68% of women believe honesty and financial stability matter more than looks when choosing a partner. They don't seek a provider. They want a partner, someone goal-oriented, respectful, and ready to build a life together. Their standards are practical and clear. Men should be hardworking, reliable, keep their promises, and never treat their wives as possessions. In big cities like Gaborone, women even say, "If you can't cook or help me wash the car, don't talk to me about equality." They live by the philosophy of Botho: kindness, respect, and integrity in behavior. That's why women in Botswana are known for their gentle yet strong personalities. They know when to speak, when to say no, and how to maintain grace in any relationship. And what about you? Do you think they're perfect enough to be the ideal wives of Africa? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Number 12. They use diamonds to save the environment. Sounds like a dream come true for the planet, right? But in Botswana, this story shines, literally, down to every carat. This nation of just 2.6 million people owns the Jwaneng diamond mine, known as the richest diamond mine on Earth, which accounts for nearly 20% of the world's total value. Every year, Botswana extracts over 24 million carats, generating billions of dollars in revenue. But instead of that wealth falling into the hands of the elite, a massive portion of it is funneled back into nature. The Botswana government allocates over 40% of its tourism budget to wildlife conservation. You heard that right. In an era when many countries are still clearing forests to build resorts, Botswana uses tourism money to protect forests and wildlife. As a result, it's become the elephant capital of the world, home to more than 130,000 elephants, more than South Africa, Zambia, and Mozambique combined. Picture this. The money once mined from hundreds of meters underground is now used to sustain 6-ton elephants wandering freely through the Okavango Delta, the only inland delta in the world's deserts. This place costs hundreds of millions of dollars each year to maintain, but in return, it generates over $2 billion annually from ecotourism. The diamond company Botswana acts like nature's bank. Part of its profits goes toward paying armed anti-poaching patrols, building schools and hospitals, and supplying clean water to villages near the reserves. Number 11. Laziness is against the law. Yes, you heard that right. In Botswana, being lazy can actually get you in trouble with the police. It's called the Vagrancy Act. Under this law, anyone between the ages of 18 and 60 who has no job, no fixed residence, and cannot prove a legal source of income can be considered a vagrant, essentially an idle wanderer. And the result? The police can detain, question, or even take you to court simply for not working. The goal of the law is to maintain social order, but in practice, it has caused fear among the poor. In the capital city of Gaborone, Human Rights Watch has reported hundreds of arrests of people who were either sleeping in parks or simply looking for work on the streets. Sounds extreme. Botswana isn't alone. Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe once had similar laws allowing police to arrest people suspected of being lazy. Even in some Western countries, the idea of loitering still exists, but few enforce it as strictly as Botswana does. Number 10. The whole country took a day off to celebrate an Olympic medal. It might sound over the top for many nations, but in Botswana, this was a once-in-a-lifetime celebration no one wanted to miss. In August 2024, Letsile Tebogo, a 21-year-old sprinter from Kanye, made African history by winning the gold medal in the men's 200 meters at the Paris Olympics, the first ever Olympic gold in Botswana's history. And guess what happened next? The government immediately declared a nationwide half-day holiday to celebrate. To put it in perspective, very few countries have ever done anything like that. Even global sports giants like the US or China have never shut down their nations for a single medal. People poured into the streets, cars honked non-stop, and Botswana's flag covered every corner of Gaborone. Schools gave students the day off to learn the lesson of national pride, and businesses voluntarily closed to join the parades. National TV replayed Tebogo's winning moment dozens of times throughout the day, while on social media, the hashtag #HoTebogoTheLegend trended worldwide. Number 9. Cattle mean everything to the people. In many parts of the world, people measure success by cars or real estate. But in Botswana, your social status, reputation, and even family honor are often defined by one thing: how many cows you own. Here, cattle are symbols of wealth, power, and pride. According to the Botswana Statistics Office, this country of just 2.6 million people owns more than 2.1 million cattle, almost one cow for every person. In rural areas, someone with 100 cows is considered a grassland millionaire, and selling just one cow can cover an entire year of university tuition for their child. Cattle don't just feed the people, they shape the society itself. In Botswana's culture, almost every major ceremony revolves around cattle. When a man gets married, he must offer 10 to 15 cows as bogadi, the traditional bride price, to show respect to the bride's family. During funerals, a cow is sacrificed to send the spirit back to the ancestors. Even at community gatherings, elders often begin with the saying, "Without cattle, there is no life." The nation's economy is also deeply tied to cattle. Beef is Botswana's largest agricultural export, accounting for over 60% of all farm exports. Botswana beef is so famous that it's exported to the European Union under the label Botswana Beef, Certified Clean Range. And if you ever visit, don't miss the chance to taste Africa's legendary grassland dishes. Botswana beefsteak, seswa, slow-cooked shredded beef served with corn porridge, and biltong, salted, spiced dried beef, the perfect snack for any desert adventure. Number 8. Bribing the police is strictly forbidden. In many countries, tipping the police is almost a social habit. A few bills to avoid a ticket or a coffee money deal to make things go away. But in Botswana, even trying that could land you up to 10 years in prison or a fine over $5,000 under the country's Anti-Corruption Act. The government's message is clear. A clean nation needs no envelopes. Of course, no place is 100% corruption-free, but Botswana stands out because police bribery is extremely rare. According to the 2023 Afrobarometer survey, only 7% of citizens said they had ever been asked for a bribe, the lowest rate in Africa. For comparison, the number is 63% in Nigeria and 41% in Kenya. That's why Transparency International ranks Botswana number 1 in Africa and 35th globally for transparency, beating Italy, Greece, and even South Korea. On the streets of Gaborone, officers often wear vests printed with the words, "Don't thank me, it's my job." A clever reminder both to citizens and to themselves. Botswana also has an independent agency, the DCEC, Directorate on Corruption and Economic Crime, with the power to arrest anyone, even ministers or senior police officials suspected of bribery. In the past 5 years alone, dozens of major cases have been exposed, including those involving Interior Ministry officials and a former police chief. In reality, the people of Botswana trust their police more than their courts or politicians, because here, laws aren't just written, they're lived. Number 7. The Okavango Delta lies in Botswana, right in the heart of Botswana's arid Kalahari Desert, a land of sand, wind, and desolation. Exists a massive oasis covering over 18,000 square kilometers, about 3 times the size of Bali. This is the Okavango Delta, the largest inland delta on Earth and one of the most biodiverse ecosystems on the planet. Each year, more than 11 billion cubic meters of water flow down from Angola's highlands. But instead of reaching the sea, the water seeps into the sand and evaporates under the desert sun. The result? A blue sea and a golden desert. One of Africa's most spectacular natural miracles. During the rainy season, the flooded area expands to 10 times the size of New York City, bringing every grassland, bush, and river to life. This is a paradise for wildlife. According to the Okavango Research Institute, the delta hosts over 200,000 mammals, including 130,000 elephants, the largest elephant population on Earth, along with thousands of lions, leopards, antelopes, and buffalo. More than 400 bird species, from red-crowned cranes to African fish eagles, fill the skies with vibrant color and sound. It's also one of the few places on Earth where you can literally watch elephants swimming through flooded grasslands beneath your feet. In 2014, UNESCO declared the Okavango Delta the 1,000th World Heritage Site, calling it an ecological miracle of life in the midst of death. Ecologists often describe it as a mini Amazon of Africa because of its astonishing density of wildlife. Each square kilometer can host over 25 species of large animals. And if you're an adventurer, Okavango isn't just a place to see. It's a place to feel nature's heartbeat. Try gliding across its shimmering waters in a mokoro, a traditional wooden canoe steered by local guides, as the sunset reflects on the water like liquid gold. Number 6. The mystery of 350 dead elephants. In mid-2020, while the world was reeling from the COVID-19 pandemic, another silent tragedy unfolded deep in Botswana's Okavango Delta. More than 350 elephants were found mysteriously dead within just a few weeks, scattered across nearly 3,000 square kilometers in northern Botswana. There were no signs of poaching. The tusks were still intact. Many elephants were found collapsed mid-journey, their trunks touching the ground, as if they had fallen within seconds. The sight shocked the world. Botswana, home to the largest elephant population on Earth, with over 130,000 individuals, and once hailed as the most successful elephant conservation nation, was now witnessing one of the largest die-offs in the history of the species. After months of investigation, scientists discovered the culprit wasn't humans, but cyanobacteria, also known as blue-green algae. These microscopic organisms thrive in stagnant ponds across the delta. When temperatures rise and drought causes water levels to drop, the bacteria bloom uncontrollably, releasing a neurotoxin called anatoxin A, a natural poison more lethal than cyanide. When elephants drank or bathed in these contaminated pools, the toxin attacked their nervous systems, causing disorientation, paralysis, and death within minutes. Number 5. They banned plastic before most of the West did. Back in 2007, while many European countries were still debating how to reduce plastic waste, Botswana quietly took bold action. It completely banned single-use plastic bags, imposed heavy fines on violators, and even prosecuted illegal manufacturers. Think about it. A small African country, whose GDP depends mainly on diamond mining, was nearly a decade ahead of the US and Europe in environmental protection. In the capital city of Gaborone, you won't see plastic bags fluttering in the wind or tangled in fences. Supermarkets only allow fabric or paper bags, and people often carry hand-woven baskets from home. The government even installed color-coded recycling bins in neighborhoods, green for paper, yellow for plastic, red for metal. And don't assume the law is just for show. Throw away a cigarette butt, candy wrapper, or plastic bag in the wrong place, and you could be fined up to $740, almost 1/10 of Botswana's average annual income. Several tourists have been fined for littering, and some restaurants have even been shut down for giving customers plastic takeout bags. Number 4. The government pays people to protect predators. While most countries try to protect citizens from wild predators, Botswana does the exact opposite. It pays citizens to protect them. Sounds crazy? It's true. This one-of-a-kind program is called the Wildlife Coexistence Bonus. Under this initiative, farmers are paid if lions, leopards, or hyenas remain alive around their farms. Each year, people living near the Okavango Delta and northern Botswana, home to over 30% of Africa's remaining lions, can earn about $1,200, which equals more than half the average annual income of a rural household. The reward is calculated based on data from GPS collars on predators, camera traps, and conservation reports. The more predators survive near a farm, the higher the payout. Why does the government do this? Because in the past, human-wildlife conflict was Botswana's biggest conservation problem. Hundreds of lions were killed every year for attacking livestock. Officials realized that punishing farmers didn't work, but turning predators into a valuable asset did. Since the program began in 2018, lion killings have dropped by more than 65%, and villagers have started viewing predators as valuable neighbors. Some even built reinforced fences, adopted guard dogs, and promptly report new lion sightings to authorities. Number 3. The oldest desert in the world is in Botswana. Did you know? The Namib Desert, believed to be the oldest on Earth, has existed for over 80 million years, meaning it's older than the Himalayas and only a few million years younger than the dinosaurs. The desert stretches across Namibia, Angola, and northeastern Botswana, forming one of the driest and most mysterious regions on the planet. Here, sand dunes rise up to 300 meters high, as tall as a 100-story building, shifting colors from golden yellow to deep crimson, depending on the sunlight. At dawn, as the sun pierces through the dusty mist, it illuminates the endless sea of sand, creating a scene photographers call Earth's dreamscape. But what makes the Namib truly remarkable isn't just its beauty, it's the incredible battle for survival. Desert lions, desert elephants, and even small beetles that collect water from morning fog prove how life adapts in impossible places. Some elephants travel more than 70 kilometers a day just to find a single puddle of water in this ocean of sand. And if you're curious about human traces, the Namib still hides ghost towns buried beneath dunes, remnants of the early 20th century diamond rush. Abandoned houses, clocks, and furniture slowly swallowed by golden sands make it feel as if time itself has stood still for decades. Number 2. Exporting sand is illegal. Yes, you heard that right. In a country where more than 70% of the land is desert, where it seems there's more sand than you could ever need, Botswana strictly forbids exporting it. The government classifies sand as a strategic national resource, protected as carefully as Saudi Arabia guards its oil. Why? Because Kalahari desert sand isn't ordinary. It's fine, dry and clean, with perfectly rounded grains ideal for construction, especially for concrete and industrial glass. During the 2000s, as neighboring countries like South Africa and Namibia experienced construction booms, Botswana's sand was stolen by the truckload, with hundreds of tons smuggled across borders at night. This led to erosion and serious land collapses in the desert. In response, Botswana banned sand exports in 2010 and created a special environmental patrol with the power to arrest offenders, seize trucks, and fine smugglers up to 1 million pula, about 74,000. Some cases were even prosecuted as theft of national resources. Strange as it sounds, sand is becoming the new gold of the 21st century. According to the United Nations, the world consumes more than 50 billion tons of sand every year, more than oil and coal combined. Botswana understands this well. Instead of exporting, it uses its Kalahari sand to develop domestic infrastructure, especially heat-resistant concrete roads and ecotourism projects across the desert. Number 1. Dual citizenship is forbidden. You might be proud of holding 2 passports, but in Botswana, that could make you a citizen of nowhere. According to official guidance from Smart Raveler, Botswana only recognizes dual nationality in certain circumstances. Otherwise, Botswana does not recognize dual nationality. In other words, if you're a Botswana citizen and you voluntarily take another nationality, you automatically lose your Botswana citizenship. The tricky part? Many people don't even realize they've broken the law. Some Botswana-born citizens living in the UK, Canada, or Australia have unknowingly become stateless, simply because they obtained a foreign passport without declaring it. The law requires all dual citizens to choose one nationality by age 21. Failure to renounce one can lead to losing your passport, being denied entry, or even being classified as a foreigner in your own homeland. The goal behind this strict rule is to protect national loyalty and prevent citizens from exploiting dual nationality for tax evasion, unrestricted travel, or immigration loopholes. But in today's globalized world, where thousands of Botswana citizens study and work abroad, the law has become increasingly controversial. Many now call it an outdated rule for a modern nation. For comparison, South Africa, Kenya, and Ghana all allow dual citizenship with clear registration requirements. Botswana, however, remains firm in its stance, making foreigners think twice before marrying, settling, or seeking citizenship there. And that wraps up our journey through 15 shocking taboos and strange facts about Botswana in today's travel documentary. Which one surprised you the most? Or maybe you have your own fascinating story connected to Botswana. Share it in the comments below. Also, tell us which country you'd like us to explore next. Your idea might just become our next documentary. See you in the next episode.